Zappening Mousetrap? Is a Teslamouse here, of course, the Houston Raichus for our Week 1 team builder for the Valhalla Pokemon League Season 3. And this is a team builder for our match against JJD of the Los Angeles Nidokings. Now, before we begin, we got two things to say. First off, these team builders will either be recorded before or after the battle itself takes place. And second of all, this team builder is actually being recorded 2 weeks after the battle took place against JJD. Now, I am going to do my best not to spoil the result of the match or hint at it. But let's get right into that team builder itself. My opponent, JJD of the Los Angeles Nidokings, has the following on his roster. He has Manaphy, Togekiss, Heatran, Guja, Celebi, Snorlax, Drapion, Donphan, and Passimian. Now, he had Sandslash during our match, but he changed it for Donphan shortly after. Manaphy, Heatran, and Drapion are his Z-move users, and these are the sets that I am bringing against him, and I will do my best to tell you guys why. Now, remember, this team builder is actually 2 weeks late, took place 2 weeks after the match, so I can't really accurately tell you guys why I brought what against him, but I'm going to do my best. Anyways, first off, for our sets, we are bringing Houston's own the Raichu with the static ability, because Showdown did tell me that you cannot have Surf on a Lightning Rod Raichu. We have Thunderbolt for stab, Volt for stab, and to pivot out. We have Surf to deal with the Sand Slash and Heatran, and we have Signal Beam to deal with the Celebi. We are running 72 HP. We are running max special attack, 4 special defense, and 180 speed. 180 speed is a speed creep Manaphy, while giving Raichu a little bit extra bulk. Now, we're going to be running Signal Beam to basically try to one-hit KO the Celebi. And if we do Celebi versus Raichu, we'll do Yu Nasty Plot Celebi, where Raichu will have a 50% chance of one-hit KO the Celebi. Now, I could not risk not one-shotting the Celebi, but I figured that getting as much damage off on it as possible, and instead of it getting, letting it get its rocks off, would be great. Now, if it kills my Raichu for whatever reason, at least it can get its rocks off, you know? So, Signal Beam from Extra Belt Raichu do about 93.1 to 109.7% to the Celebi. And none of Celebi's moves, barring Earth Power, will one-hit KO the Raichu. But let's see what Earth Power would do to our Raichu should we keep it in. Earth Power will not even one-shot the Raichu. Maybe because of the HP investment I put in the Raichu and the special defense investment, or maybe it's because Earth Power is just not stab and Celebi does not have more than 100 beats special attack. That's not to say that Celebi is not a good mon. It is a great mon, has base 100 stats all around the board, has good HP stat, good attack stat, very good special defense stat, good special attack stat, and good speed stat. So it's evenly distributed. So it has base 600 stats, man. So we do have Signal Beam to deal with the Celebi. We're not running Hidden Power Ice on Raichu because there's really nothing to hit with Hidden Power Ice that Surf won't do more damage than. Which brings us to our next example. Let's assume that we're going against a max speed, max attack Sand Slash. We'll do the Oras NU Sand Rush set. Surf from an Extra Belt Raichu will have a 100% chance to one-hit KO. It'll do 102.6 to 121.3% damage, which is great. We prevent him from setting up his rocks. Now, if he's running a defensive set, like let's assume Impish Nature with max HP, max defense, 4 special defense, then Raichu's Surf will be a guaranteed one-hit KO, and maybe I will risk going for Surf, maybe not, if it does bring the Sand Slash, that is. Now, even if Surf does not one-hit KO the Sand Slash and he kills a Raichu with Earthquake, that is fine. We prevented him from getting up rocks, and that is great for us. Raichu is more or less to do damage to stuff like Heatran and Sand Slash, basically be a red herring against them. So they waste their time killing off the Raichu and prevent them from setting up rocks. So we have that set on Raichu. Now let's do some damage, or let's do some calcs against Manaphy. OUZ Manaphy here. Thunderbolt will not one-shot Manaphy, unfortunately, because Manaphy does have good bulk all around. It's 100 base HP, 100 base special defense, just like Celebi has base 100 stats all around the board. And Raichu's base special attack is pretty low. It has base 90 special attack, which is kind of why I use it as one of my designated Z-move users to have a bit more power. But basically our play here is to go for Volt Switch, get as much damage off on the Manaphy as possible, and go into something like Venusaur or Blastoise as it goes to like Tail Glow and basically roaring out or pressure of Mega Venusaur. Our next mon that we are bringing against him is going to be Void Gaming, the Victini here. We are running 184 attack, 68 special attack, 4 special defense, and 252 special attack. We are running V-Crate, Bull Strike, Focus Blast, and Workout. We have V-Crate for stab. We got Bull Strike to hit the Manaphy. We got Focus Blast to try to hit Snorlax, even though it won't do a lot of damage because the defense of Snorlax is a bitch to take down. Snorlax has good special defense, very good HP stat. And we got Workup. Now, the reason why we are running Workup on our Victini is to basically increase both of its defensive stats by 1 stage. It will really help out here. So, let's see. Void Gaming the Victini here will, with Expert Build, will do 67 to 79.5% damage. We are going to be speed tying with the Manaphy. We're not going to try to speed creep anything else. We're just going to try to match speeds with it because if we do try to speed creep Drapion, we're going to be outsped guaranteed. Now, a +1 Bull Strike for Manaphy, or not Manaphy, but Victini will do 100 to 118.1% damage to the Manaphy. It will be a guaranteed one-hit KO. That's why we ran 184 attack investment. To basically run enough attack investment to where a +1 Bull Strike is guaranteed to one-shot the Manaphy. Now, let's assume we're unboosted, and we use our Z move. Again, Gigable Havoc, 100 to 118.1% damage to the Manaphy, guaranteed 1 KO. Enough attack investment to guarantee a one-shot on Manaphy. Well, our routine is going to be basically a lure for Manaphy to come in, and then we just hit it with a Gigable Havoc. Maybe I'll think that we're Scarf or something. And again, Workup is there basically to increase its stats, both its attack and special defense by or its attack and special attack by 1 stage, which will be really helpful. Now, unfortunately for us, even a +1 Focus Blast won't do a lot to Snorlax. But we are running Focus Blast in hopes to get a special defense drop on the Snorlax itself. Let's go with the typical set, Snorlax, Curse-Slack set. Assuming we're at +1, Manaphy's Focus Blast will do 40.1 to 47.8% damage to the Snorlax. Now, if we get a special defense drop on the Snorlax, it'll do 60.2 to 71% damage, basically guaranteeing that the next Focus Blast that hits will one-shot, will finish off the rest of Snorlax's HP. That's why we have Work up there to basically increase the firepower of Victini. And we're not running Choice Up. There's absolutely no reason to. We don't want to be locked into a move, especially being locked into V-Crate against a Snorlax, which has thick fat and will minimize the damage done to it. Now, could he bring other abilities such as Immunity or Gluttony on a Snorlax? It's a possibility, but we're not taking the chances this week with our Victini. Now, let's go ahead and run some other calcs here. Let's see what Victini will do to a Goodra, especially defensive Goodra. V-Crate will do 30.5 to 39.5% damage to a special defensive Goodra. At +1, it will do 49.2 to 58.3. Now, the idea is to basically whittle down Goodra's HP with spikes and damage from other mons such as Mega Venusaur, Blastoise even, and just basically wear it down. And Goodra does not have any reliable HP recovery outside of Rest. Now, I do want to point out something. On his roster, he has Manaphy, and he is a Z move user, and Z statuses are legal. He could run Z Rain Dance, or he could run Damp Rock Rain Dance for all I know. And that would actually benefit Goodra, because Goodra does have access to the ability Hydration, just like Manaphy, which basically clears away statuses. So in the rain, Goodra can go for like Rest and then recover HP, then wake up because of Hydration. We have to watch out for that. Now, I was debating running Z Sunny Day Victini, but overall I figured it wouldn't be worth it. Because if I conveniently won the speed tie, and I went for Z Sunny Day against Manaphy and went for Z Rain Dance, we'd be kind of fucked there. Because his Rain Dance would activate second, it would overshadow our Sunny Day. Granted, we would still get the +1 speed boost, but we'd be adding another speed tie with Manaphy, and that's not really good. So Victini is not really gonna. Victini alone won't take care of the Goodra. However, combined with some hazards, with some chip damage and stuff such as Mega Venusaur, Blastoise, anything else really, even Landorus, it'll be good. Our next set that we are running is going to be Lando T Money, the Landorus, Earthquake, Stone Edge, U-Turn, and Rock Polish with the Soft Sand. We are not running a choice up, we are not running a Z move on Landorus. The Z move user this week will be our Victini, but Landorus T can do a lot of damage with its adamant nature and its Soft Sand. Let's go over the calcs of this though. Landorus versus Snorlax will be a 2-shot with Earthquake because of Soft Sand. Now, Snorlax does not have the best physical defense. It does have a pretty good, very good HP stat. However, Earthquake does 55.5 to 66% damage to the Snorlax. So if we switch the Snorlax in on an Earthquake, we can do major damage to it in 2-shot. Now, there is a possibility he could send in Togekiss on Landorus. So let's see what a Stone Edge from an Adamant Landorus will do to Togekiss with these damage kills. Let's assume it's UU support, shall we? Bull Nature. Stone Edge from Landorus will do 58.3 to 68.7% damage. If we score a critical hit with Stone Edge on the Togekiss, it will have a 25% chance of 1 KO. Now, unless he's running Hidden Power Ice or Icy Wind on his Togekiss, he can't really do much, and he puts his Togekiss at risk to being 2-shotted by Landorus. Again, we are running Soft Sand to basically bluff a choice band or a choice item while putting some extra damage with Earthquake. Let's see what Goodra would do to... Let's see what Landorus would do to a especially defensive Goodra. Now, Earthquake will be another 2-shot on Goodra, 67 to 79.1% damage. Assuming we have 3 spikes out against Goodra, it will have a 31.3% chance to win at KO. That's not to mention any other chip damage Goodra may suffer. Goodra can't really do much to Landorus outside of Ice Beam and possibly Muddy Water, but I don't see him bringing Muddy Water against me this week. Ice Beam could be a possibility to deal with Venusaur, but even then, Mega Venusaur has a thick fat ability which negates the Ice weakness, so Ice Beam won't do too much. The best he can do is hope for a freeze with it. Now let's see what Landorus will do to Manaphy. We'll go OUZ Manaphy. Earthquake will be a 2-shot on the Manaphy. Again, Adamant Nature, Soft Sand hits really hard. His Surf will have a chance to win at KO. However, if he runs Scald instead of Surf, the fish will have Burn. He will do 76.3 to 90.9% damage to our Landorus. We do have 80 special defense, basically increase the bulk of our Landorus, which is good. And yeah. Alright, next up we have Venusaur, our Mega Venusaur, which is going to be Jungle Fever, rocking the Calm Nature, max age, well, 248 HP, 88 defense, 156 special defense, and 16 speed. We have Sludge Bomb, we have not Hidden Power Fire, we have Earthquake, and we have Giga Drain. I forgot that was a copy paste Venusaur set from my OU team, minus the nature and the evening spread. But yeah, we have Giga Drain, Earthquake, and Sludge Bomb with Synthesis. We got Earthquake to hit Drapion, we got Earthquake to hit Heatran on the Switch, we have Sludge Bomb for super effective damage on the Togekiss, we got Giga Drain for stab, and we got Synthesis to heal. Now, a +3 Manaphy's Psychic will not even one-shot Mega Venusaur, which is great. So, assuming Mega Venusaur does not take prior damage to coming out against Manaphy, we can take the Psychic hit and go for Giga Drain and do some significant amount of damage here. Unboosted though, Manaphy's Psychic will only do a maximum of 38.7% damage. So basically, if he wants a shot at killing the Venusaur, he has to set up Tail Glow. We are running Earthquake against Heatran. Let's see what an uninvested minus attack nature Earthquake will do to a max special attack, max speed Heatran. Earthquake will do 79.5 to 93.9% damage to the Heatran. Now Venusaur can't really do much, or Heatran cannot do much to our Venusaur because again, we have the thick fat ability which will neutralize the fire weakness. Magma Storm can't do much. It'll do a maximum of 38.7% damage, and there's also a chance that Magma Storm will miss the Venusaur. So Venusaur, ironically enough, being a grass type versus a fire steel type, will be our wall to the Heatran. I find that kind of ironic in a way, but yeah, that's the power of Thick Fat, obviously. Let's go with Togekiss here. Togekiss, you use support. Air Slash will do 36.5 to 45.1% damage. Unfortunately for us, though, this Togekiss, if it's speed invested, will outspeed our Venusaur. Sludge Bomb, though, will be a 2-shot, so if we break the switch in Togekiss, we just basically go for a Sludge Bomb, bam, do over half damage to it. The reason why we are running 16 speed on our Venusaur is to basically outspeed non-speed invested Goodra. Venusaur is also going to be another great wall with Goodra. Goodra can't do anything to Venusaur except for hope for a freeze from Ice Beam. Now let's see what Goodra's special defensive Goodra will do. Dragon Pulse will do a maximum of 26.3% damage, Sludge Bomb will do a maximum of 18.8%, Flamethrower will do a maximum of 19.3% damage, which is a Thick Fat. Now Earthquake will not do too much damage, and now they will Shadow Sludge Bomb, sorry, I almost said Shadow Bomb, Sludge Bomb, but we do have an advantage here. We can basically heal off HP with our Mega Venusaur because of Synthesis. His Goodra, again, as mentioned before, has no way to recover HP unless you're running a Rest Hydration set in the rain. And he's going to have to try to set up rain against us with Manaphy, which is not a great idea because we do have good walls to his Manaphy and Goodra in the form of Venusaur. Now, we just wear down with Sludge Bomb and Earthquakes. He can't do much to us with Goodra, as mentioned before. There is one thing that we do have to worry about here, and that is Drapion. Drapion is one of his designated Z-move users. And it's possible that he could be carrying Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace is a base 60 flying type move. Now, unboosted does a maximum of 27.9% damage, and if he runs Z-move Aerial Ace, the Flame Z on it, it'll do a maximum of 53.7% damage. However, if he gets a Sword Stance up here, it will have a 43.8% chance of one-hit KO at full health. Our Earthquake will have a chance to 2-shot him, but if he gets a +2 Supersonic Sky Strike off on us, it's not going to be pretty because we won't be able fast enough to outspeed him and it'll just finish us off. Granted though, we can revenge kill him. Now I know what you guys are saying, you got Lando T to deal to Drapion. And again, Drapion is one of his Z-move users, and Drapion gets access to not only Aqua Tail, but also Ice Fang. And let's do some calcs with Landorus Styrian with the Lando T money set. And -1, Ice Fang will actually one-shot us, which is interesting here. It'll actually one-shot the Drapion. Actually, I actually left the stat boost. At -1, Ice Fang will do 53.3% damage to 63% to Landorus Styrian. However, after Intimidate at +1, it'll one-shot. It will not one-shot us. It'll be close to it. But if it does go for the Z move with Ice Fang, it is going to be a guaranteed one-hit KO. Now let's see what a -1 Sub-Zero Slammer does. It does not one-shot us. Now we could set up on the Drapion. That would be cool and all. Okay, it does have a chance. Never mind. I keep messing up because I know that, Landorus T gets the Kelk Landorus T's Intimidate automatically in the Kelks. But anyways, it'll have a 68.8% chance of one-hit KO the Landorus Styrian with Sub-Zero Slammer. If he's at -1. And, if you're crafty enough, you'll probably run Z Ice Fang Drapion deal to Landorus T, because otherwise, Drapion is basically setup bait for Landorus Styrian. Alright, so we got the Kelks of Landorus Styrian, we got the Kelks of Drapion. Let's move on to our next mon. We are running Righteous the Blastoise with Rindo Berry Calm Nature, 248 HP, 8 defense, 252 special defense. Rindo Berry is a berry that basically reduces the damage from a super effective grass type move. The reason why we're running Rindo Berry is for 2 reasons. 1, Celebi. 2, Energy Ball, Manaphy. Now I want to show you guys some Kelks here. Manaphy at at +3 will not one-shot our Blastoise with the Rindo Berry. It'll actually not even do half. So let's go with +3 Energy Ball. It does 40.5 to 48.1% damage to our Blastoise, and granted, our Blastoise can't really do anything back to the Manaphy. However, we can roar out the Manaphy over our Blastoise and reset stat boost. It's great. So we're relying on special defensive Blastoise to basically phase out the Manaphy. We're also relying on Roar Blastoise to phase out setups, sweepers such as Snorlax and Drapion, although we're probably not going to really be able to do much to Drapion. But Snorlax can't really do much to our Blastoise in fear of Roar. That's why we're running that set. Dealing with stuff such as Drapion, Heatran, Snorlax, Manaphy, and other Groundamons is going to require us to run Spikes. And that is why we are running our Skarmory here. We are running Scratcher the Skarmory with 248 HP, 146 defense, 32 special defense, and 84 speed. Now we're running some speed investment on the Skarmory so we can outpace non-speed invested Goodra. Our plan here is basically get hazards out again if we have to go face to face with Goodra. So we'll get a layer of Spikes out, we'll go for like Thunderbolt or Flamethrower, knock our Skarmory down to either sturdy or low health. We'll get a second layer of Spikes going. That'll be all hunky-dory. And we can just basically force him to either put himself in a position where he has to defog or rapid spin them away, or keep taking repeated damage with his Snorlax, Drapion, etc. Skarmory is also here to basically wall out the Snorlax if I do have an opportunity to bring it out against him. But there might not be many opportunities to, because he has a lot of special attackers he can bring, such as, again, the Goodra, he can bring the Manaphy, he can bring stuff like that. And basically, Skarmory's main purpose here is basically set up Spikes, get as much chip damage on his team as possible, and basically force him to waste a turn defogging or rapid spinning. Although we can set up Spikes and use his Drapion as setup fodder for Spikes, or force him to switch out. Now I could knock off a Rocky Helmet with Drapion, which would force him to take some Rocky Helmet damage. But yeah, so that's basically the team that I'm bringing against JJD, Joey Hernandez of the Los Angeles Nidokings. Let's go over it one more time. We're running Expert Belt, Raichu, Thunderbolt, Volsarus, Surf, and Signal Beam with 72 HP, max special attack, 4 special defense, 180 speed, the speed creep the Manaphy. We are running Electrium Z Victini with V-Create, Bolt Strike, Focus Blast, and Workout, 184 attack, 68 special attack, 4 special defense, and 252 speed. Basically, speed tie Manaphy. There's no reason to try a speed tie with or speed creep Drapion. We want to match speed with Manaphy because we cannot outspeed it otherwise. Lando Team Money, the Lander Styrian with Earthquake, Stone Edge, U-Turn, Rock Polish, Soft Sand, Intimidate as the ability, 4 HP, max attack, 88 special defense, 172 speed. This is to speed creep max speed Goodra. Then we have Jungle Fever, the Mega Venusaur, Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, Earthquake, and Synthesis, 248 HP, 88 defense, 156 special defense, and 16 speed. Righteous the Blastoise with Rindo Berry, Skull, Signal Beam, Rapid Spin, Roar. This will be our hazard remover of the team this week. We got the Rindo Berry Survive hits from Celebi and +3 Energy Ball Manaphy. We're also running Call Mission Bender take special attacks. Again, 248 HP, 8 defense, 252 special defense. And last but not least, Scratcher the Skarmory with 248 HP, 146 defense, 32 special defense, and 84 speed to outspeed Goodra. Drill Peck, Spikes, Roost, and Roar. We got Drill Peck to hit stuff and not be taunt bait. We hit stuff such as Celebi for super effective damage, get some physical damage off on the Goodra. We got Spikes to set up and hamper his switch in. Because he'll definitely want to switch into like stuff like Heatran and Snorlax, and that'll be a big problem if we don't get some chip damage on. Granted, based on how bulky Snorlax is and how it can set up and just basically body slam or just destroy our whole team. We got Roost of Recovery if we do come to a situation where we can recover our HP without losing our Skarmory. We got Roar to phase out stuff. We are running Roar on both Blastoise and Skarmory to basically phase out setups, sweepers such as Snorlax, Drapion, and whatnot, and basically Roar stuff into Spikes. The only thing on his team that will not be affected by Spikes is going to be his Togekiss. Everything else, unless they're running like Air Balloon Heatran, will be hit by spikes. So that's why Spikes is more essential to this against this team than Stealth Rocks that I found. Anyways, the battle between JJD and I will go up tomorrow, and it's gonna be a fantastic battle, win or lose. And you know, even if you win, even if you lose the battle against your opponent, if it's a good battle, you have to admit it's gonna be a good battle. And tomorrow's battle will definitely be pretty damn good. I can promise you guys that. So guys, if you enjoyed this fantastic Valhalla Pokemon League Week 1 Team Builder for the 3rd season, please leave a like, comment, and double the subscribe button, and I will catch you on the side for some more fantastic Draft League action. And remember guys, keep riding Thunder Waves to victory. Okay, thanks, bye.